Mr. President, I also move to consider proposed Senate concurrent resolution number 10. The Secretary is directed to read only the title of the resolution without prejudice of inserting the full text thereof.
Concurrent resolution providing for the adjournment sine die of the first regular session of the 20th Congress of the Philippines not later than 12 o'clock midnight today, June 3, 2026.
Mr. President, I move to adopt Senate concurrent resolution number 10.
Is there any objection? Hearing none, motion is carried.
Mr. President, in conformity with the Senate concurrent resolution that we have just adopted, I move that the Committee on the Senate provided therein be composed of Senators J.V. Ejercito, Francis Pangilinan, and Rafi Tulfo. I so move, Mr. President.
Is there any objection? The chair hears none. The motion is approved. Senators J.V. Arcito, Francis Pangilinan, Rafi Tulfo, and shall compose the Committee of the Senate to inform the President of the Republic of the Philippines that the first regular session of the 20th Congress is ready to adjourn sine die.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. And just for clarity, the PS resolution we earlier approved is 430. The number is 430. 430? 430. Mr. President, before we adjourn, the chair would like to state for the
Mr.
record
President,
why
Majority
we
Leader,
compelled
before we
today.
adjourn,
Yes.
allow me to give a few remarks. Before we adjourn, ladies and gentlemen, the chair would like to state for the record that we are compelled to call the session to order today. After the Senate adjourned on May 26, 2026, session was scheduled to resume on Monday, June 1, 2026, and on Tuesday, June 2, 2026. But the former Senate President failed to appear in both instances. Further, Article 6, Section 16(5) of the Constitution provides that neither House shall, during sessions of Congress, adjourn for more than 3 days without the consent of the other House. The Senate has been adjourned and unable to resume session for the past 2 days, placing us on the brink of constitutional violation had we not convened today. Thus, in the absence of a duly consulted postponement and the continued absence of the former Senate President pro tempore, and members of the majority, we are compelled to call the session to order. The quorum of 12 is based on majority of 22 senators, over whom jurisdiction can be obtained by the Senate. This is in full accord with the ruling of the court in Avellino versus Cuenco, that an absolute majority of 12 out of the 23 members can constitute a constitutional majority of the Senate for quorum purposes, and with precedent, specifically the May 5, 2015 session, where the quorum was based on 17 available senators, with 7 others beyond the Senate's coercive jurisdiction. Thank you.
Thank you
dear
very
colleagues.
much for the clarity, Mr. President. Mr. President, let the record reflect that the chair, as Senate President pro tempore, shall serve as acting president pursuant to Rule 5. Yes. Presiding officer of the Senate pursuant to Rule 5, Section 4C and 5 of the Rules of the Senate. Yes. Pursuant to our rules, the wording is actually acting president, Mr. President, on our rules. Just for the record, Mr. President.
Is there any objection? Hearing none, the motion is approved.
Mr. President, I move that the President of the Republic of the Philippines and the House of Representatives be informed of the election of Senate President pro tempore and acting Senate President Sherwin Gatchalian. I so move, Mr. President.
Is there any objection? Hearing none, the motion of the majority leader is hereby approved.
Mr. President, I move that the first regular session of the 20th Congress of the Philippines on the part of the Senate be adjourned sine die.
Is there any objection? The chair hears none. The motion is approved. The first regular session of the 20th Congress of the Philippines on the part of the Senate is adjourned sine die.